Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Steve. It's currently 11:24 on Sunday, the 12th at 2015, and right now we have a lot. I have a lot to talk about to you. Going to talk about the heat wave we've been dealing with, and of course, we're going to be looking into the severe weather as we go into this week as well. Have a lot to talk about. We're going to first talk about tonight's severe weather threat, and then go in through the day tomorrow and even into Tuesday, which could carry into Wednesday as well. So, just be prepared for a wild ride these next couple of days. Hopefully, won't be that much. Hopefully, won't be that bad, but we could see some pretty good severe weather across much of the Mid-Atlantic and into the Tennessee Valley. What I want to do right now is go to our regional radar. This is from weathertap.com. And let me go ahead and refresh this real quick. That way the live radar will come back on the air. Okay, here we go. This is the live radar that I'm currently showing you at this time. Not a lot going on with the radar at this point. However, there is that severe weather moving across Minnesota into Wisconsin. And then we have another area of, we have that monsoonal flow that's kind of kicking up over the Arizona area, the California area, and it's bringing in a lot of moisture from the Gulf Coast, and therefore showers and thunderstorms forming along here. Some of these have been severe the last couple of days, and with those monsoonal thunderstorms, that's always a possibility. So that is definitely going to be something to watch for those of you who love heavy rains and all kinds of moisture. Now, as we look at the Gulf Coast of Mexico and the Mid-Atlantic, notice there's a lot of moisture that's coming on board. With that moisture, we also have the heat and the instability, and all we need is just a good front, whether it be a stationary boundary, a cutoff low, or a cold front, to bring our showers and thunderstorms to us, to make that air mix in and become volatile. And unfortunately, we actually have that right now. So it looks like we are going to be kind of stuck in this top pattern for the next couple of days or so. 84 degrees over in Huntsville, Alabama. 83, we're talking in Chattanooga. 79 in Knoxville. 75 in Bristol. And then currently 85 degrees in Nashville. So the temperatures are still pretty warm. And with all the warm air that's associated with the Gulf moisture, and along with that stationary boundary, we'll see showers and thunderstorms possibly popping up overnight. And doesn't really have to be in daytime heating. All there has to be is the humidity rising. And once that humidity rises, keeping over 95%, we will see those showers and thunderstorms pop up. And with all that cooler air, it's that cooler air, nighttime air, that is rising against that really warm air. And with that in mind, the air has created its own lift along the stationary boundary, and the stationary boundary is what helps forces the mechanisms and therefore develops into showers and thunderstorms. Let's go ahead and talk about the severe weather pattern for this week and give you a good idea of what to expect. Now, this is looking at the latest. I've already looked at the latest maps or so. Now, let's go and look at the Surface Analyst with satellite imagery here. And as you can see, the frontal boundary itself rides anywhere along Minnesota and all the way down in through the Tennessee Valley, including the South Carolina, North Carolina area region here. And any system that forms along that boundary pushes along and ahead of the storm. So you get showers and thunderstorms training along the same system from the stationary boundary, as you can see, kind of coming out of Canada all the way down through the northern plains and into the Tennessee Valley. So showers and thunderstorms and these disturbances riding along that. And that's the current image we have for now. Any moisture that's either behind the storm system or in front, that's where showers and thunderstorms have been forming throughout the day to day, and probably going to rebuild up as we go into tonight. Now, another feature that definitely watching is another disturbance that's riding along that Minnesota and around the Wisconsin area. That's the system that's going to be bringing some more chances of showers and thunderstorms, and a few of those thunderstorms with time could become severe. So we're going to get right into that and talk more about the situation as we work our way in through the next forecast frames. Again, there's that stationary boundary I was telling you about, all the way from the northern plains, stretching on down and through parts of east, northeast Kentucky, and then North Carolina and South Carolina, dealing with some this activity as well, dealing with this boundary. Along with that, you got the warm, moist air that's surrounding this environment, and therefore that's creating the lift for showers and thunderstorms. As we go into the next 12 hours, you'll see that boundary kind of breaks apart a little bit. We're not really seeing too much of anything in the way of weather. Looks like most of the weather is going to be north and along that stationary boundary, while areas off to the Tennessee Valley southward seems to remain a lot more calm. So that's good news for our Monday. It looks like Monday we're definitely going to be back in the return for partly cloudy skies with less chances of any showers or thunderstorms developing. Now with the 24-hour scenario, it looks like we have a disturbance along the plains. It's going to move its way off to the southeast. Winds will tighten up. That's the pressure gradient. And therefore, with that in mind, we will see showers and thunderstorms come back into the forecast, affecting the Tennessee Valley, much of the Carolinas, and possibly even on down to Florida as that stationary boundary makes its way a bit more to the south. So we're looking at it kind of moving its way across Kentucky and then also into the Tennessee Valley as we work over the next 3 days or so. So looks like it's going to be a very interesting forecast feature over the next few days. All right, so let me go and get right straight to the point. There is this is my Twistcast outlook area for severe weather for the Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. And as you can see here, with all the setup involved, showers and thunderstorms will likely be forming. A few of those thunderstorms could be intense. And as you can see, the color coding here, the lighter orange stands for strong storms, even though you cannot see that color. The red stands for tornado threat, which means any given tornado threat, not necessarily a high. Everybody thinks when they see red, oh man, we're in trouble. Not necessarily. That just means there's the possibility of a few tornadoes. When you see the pink, that's really what you need to worry about. That is the high tornado risk threat. Thankfully, I've not even added that color yet. I keep telling my wife and everybody that's associated around me, I really hate using that color pink because it's a devastating color, and it stands for devastating weather, period. But as you can see here, we have an active weather pattern on its way. Showers and thunderstorms will become widespread, possibly Tuesday morning. They'll be ongoing over the Ohio Valley and some parts of Tennessee. However, not really expecting too much in the way of any severe weather. It's really as we get our way into Tuesday night into early Wednesday, that's going to be the main focus. But two questions: how strong is the lower level wind shear compared to the upper level wind shear? Will both wind shears be very strong enough to be directional? And will we get a good enough crossing with the winds that will cause these thunderstorms to turn with height? And the instability is there, no doubt about that. As a matter of fact, I looked at the Cape values. They're pretty well around the 2,000, 3,000 joules per kilogram reading. Other than that, it looks like most of these showers and thunderstorms are going to continue to be very suppressive. Did I say kilogram? That's kinetic energy. I'm sorry. That's joules. That's joules per kinetic energy. That's JK. It's JKG standing for energy there. So showers and thunderstorms become widespread from the Gulf Coast of Mexico up through the Ohio Valley. And as you can see here, this is for Tuesday day. I've got a red area for mostly anywhere between west, just a little half of west of Interstate 75, all the way on up into 81. That's touching West Virginia, parts of Virginia, North Carolina, Kentucky. This is the area where I think that we're going to see the most threatening chances for a few tornadoes and severe thunderstorms. Now, just to the west of that, you will see the orange, the darker orange. Can't rule out maybe one or two tornadoes. However, mostly looking at a widespread damaging wind threat. I wouldn't be surprised to actually see the tornado threat kind of minimized a little bit with SPC, unless we get some big time turning within height and some big time features. I don't expect to see much of in the way of a widespread tornado threat. However, with any supercell that develops, you have that threat of tornadoes out there, so there's always the chance of receiving an isolated tornado or two scattered anywhere along the orange and red areas. So that's the outlook for Tuesday and Wednesday. So what you need to do is have your cell phone no weather radio. Make sure that it's turned on and ready to go. The batteries are in it. And also get you plenty of flashlights, candles, anything that can keep you running along the night and sleeping well as the electricity continues to be off. Not saying it's going to be off, just saying that there is the possibility of that happening. So in the short term, let me go ahead and go to my latest post on the Tennessee Storm Watch and kind of break things down for you a little bit. And this is kind of going to be in detail of what to expect here. First of all, I've got a couple of weather pictures to show you. This is coming from one of my partners at Tennessee Storm Watch. Her name is Melanie. She also goes to mine and my wife's Citadel Church. Little action, little dark cloud action there. Thunderstorms moving over and around the area, around Georgia there. As you can see, there's the the pine trees, and you can see that storm kind of moving overhead. So an amazing shot, and a special thanks to Melanie for that shot coming from out of Georgia there. All right, now let's go in. Let me go and show you the feature that I had posted earlier today, and this was talking about the threat of severe weather, if I could get to it. Okay, now here's exactly what to expect, as I have mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, and I'll mention it again. It looks like that there is a stationary boundary position over the northern Ohio Valley region, with that stationary boundary stretching all the way across the Tennessee Valley as well. And it slopes all the way down through the lower half of Mississippi, means the air is not moving or colliding, and all this air is doing is just colliding into one another. It's that warm air, cold air kind of hitting in between, and with no cleanup in between, that allows showers and thunderstorms to form. Now, this will be the case as with all stationary boundaries we usually see in the summer. It'll be the case this week. We have the orange shaded area that includes Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Kentucky, Virginia, Illinois, Ohio, all under the gun for severe weather. A few supercells are likely to start through Kentucky and parts of the Tennessee, Virginia border on Tuesday morning, with supercells spreading east-southeastward through the rest of East Tennessee as we go into late Tuesday evening, and the rest of the southeast parts of Tennessee through Tuesday night. So thing is, you don't need to take this lightly. Take it serious, be safe. The tornado threat will be a medium to a moderate probability in the red shaded areas. This will include a wind threat, which become extreme. Hail threat also will be very intense. And then the lightning threat looks to be intense as well. So what to expect: damage to trees, power lines, buildings, mobile homes overturned, as well as moderate areas of isolated tree damage is possible. So once again, you need to stay tuned to the Tennessee Storm Watch, Chattanooga Weather Desk, and Twistcast for the latest information. Okay, so the rest of tonight, SPC does have much of the Ohio Valley or actually much of Minnesota, Iowa, and the threat for severe weather tonight. They still have the moderate risk for severe weather out. This does include the 5% tornado risk over Wisconsin and Minnesota. It looks like a very intense wind risk over the same areas as well, including hail. Now, as we work our way into the next following day, which is tomorrow, I'm thinking this is going to change somewhat, and I'll keep you updated of that just in case it does. You can see that there is a moderate risk area with the pink, dark red area all across northern Kentucky, much of the Ohio Valley, while the enhanced risk area includes Kentucky. The slight risk right now, I think, will stay off well across much of the Tennessee Valley. I don't see anything coming down as far as being widespread. However, as we work our way in through Monday night and early Tuesday, there could be a few showers and thunderstorms, but really kind of breaking off until we get into Tuesday night and early Wednesday, when showers and thunderstorms will become more featured with this boundary. And again, here's the latest SPC outlook for day 3. This does include the slight risk area all across Tennessee, the Carolinas, the Mid-Atlantic, while portions of East Tennessee and Georgia, as well as Northeast Alabama, could be under the gun for a little bit more higher threat, greater threat of severe weather. Areas in the enhanced risk area includes Nashville, Knoxville, Huntsville, Chattanooga, Tennessee, as well as Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So if you're in the enhanced risk area, what that stands for is a 30% chance of severe weather, possibly of some strong destructive winds. A couple of tornadoes can be ruled out. So it's a good idea to stay tuned to Tennessee Storm Watch, Chattanooga Weather Desk, and I will keep you on top of things and stay on top of things should more developments come in.